Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And my name is Kwa, and I'm a realtor and a real estate investor. Today's topic is how I plan to get the down payment for my fifth property. But before I start with that, I wanna, everybody to realize the concept that most investor nowadays will tell you, and the concept is buying the first investment property is always the hardest. And I mean, on the face value of it, there's some obvious reason why. For example, because you don't have any experience in it, so it's always going to give you a lot of problem when you first started out, and then you don't know how to deal with tenants. So dealing with tenants is something that most people don't realize how hard it is when you started out. But the underlying reason why the first property is hard is because you start out from scratch and you don't have a lot of say you have to come up with like the 25% deposit and the 25% down payment for the property, because when it's an investment property, then the lender require at least 25% to make sure that the cash flow are there for you to be able to pay it back. So if you do a quick look on Facebook, I mean not on Facebook, Google, and yes, buying first for investment property is always hardest, and you see all these like this posting in Reddit, in Bigger Pockets, in the first version why is it the hardest to buy, and all sort of thing. It's hard because of course like the first part is the capital accumulation, like the down payment. You have to save up like the 25% from nothing, right? Because you don't have the privilege of like leveraging anything for that to save up for that 20%. And then of course you have to prove income because like I said, you know you probably have to have a W-2 job to be able to prove like your income is stable enough, or like have a really good like 1099 from like your own business to be able to prove that. In reality, like when you have more than one property, you can actually use the income from those property to subsidize the income for the borrowing, right? And then you don't have experience, so you will lack of data, so that you don't know how to look at deals, and because of that you might end up like look like miscalculated your cash flow, because a lot of clients like when they come to me and they ask me, oh, can you look for help me look for an investment property in Orange County, California. And to me already I'm saying, oh, well, I don't think you should do that, because if you're looking for investment property that actually give you any type of returns, Orange County, California might not be the best place. The reason for that is because a lot of people, when they look at property, they said, okay, the property is this much, the mortgage, let's say, is 5,000 a month. If they can rent it out for 6,000 a month, then they make 1,000. But what they don't realize is, on top of the mortgage, you also have like insurance, property tax, maintenance, vacancy, uh, utility, and management fee that you on top of all the other fees. So something that rent, something that pay like mortgage like 5,000 a month, you technically kind of have to bring in at least 8 to 10,000 a month in order for you to cash flow. And my kind of like my quick calculation, like napkin calculation, is let's say probably is $1 million, 1 million, then you kind of typically need like at least 9,000 per month to be able to cash flow. And if you live in Orange County, California now, you know that any property in Westminster or Garden Grove, it's already over a million. And rent here, even no matter how nice that property is, you won't be able to get anywhere close to 9,000. The best you can do is like maybe 5,000, 6,000 if it's over in Fountain Valley or Huntington Beach. But then those properties more expensive as well. So that's the reason why. And so going to back to my original point, how I plan to get my get the down payment for my next project. Hopefully, it's now be able to get that. Is that is that you know I purchased my primary residence back in 2015, 16 to be exact, for 500. We down around 20%, which is like 100,000. And over the course of like 3 or 4 years, I refinanced a couple times for either a better rate or kind of like cash out. So when I cash out refinance, what happened is, let's say when originally I borrowed 400,000 because the property is 500, I down 100,000. So 3 or 4 years down the line, interest rate was still good, and the property went up in price. So when I did the cash out refinance, I was able to borrow an extra 500,000, 400,000 pay off the original loan, and $100,000 I keep. That money, because it's a loan, I didn't have to pay any capital gains tax on it because it's a loan. So I didn't have to pay any tax on it. So I was able to get my original investment back from my primary resident, and still paying the mortgage like the same amount. I think like around 2,000. So that's like when I refinance cash out refi. And then recently, last year I did, because the rate was so high right now. Like I still have like I think like a 2.75 rate on my primary resident first loan, and because the rate today are like 6 or 7%, I don't do a cash out refi anymore because I want to keep their old rate the same. So what I did is I borrow a second on top of the first for like 250,000. I borrowed 250,000 to purchase my last property, which is the 14 units in my other videos. And now, in order for me to get the money for the down payment for the fifth property, what I plan to do is that I plan to leverage two of my property that I have in San Marino. One of them is a triplex, and it's this one right here, 78 right way. It's this one. Not sure if if you watch my other videos, you'll probably seen I mentioned this property a while back too. So back then I purchased it for only 635, right? 635. You can see it here, 635, right? And today I think Redfin estimated to be 676 or something. Over here, this one, I don't know why they estimate that low. The thing is, a lot of time they don't have enough data to give it an estimate. But I think right now I'm bringing in around 6,000 for this property, so it should be like at least like closer to 750 or more. So if I'm going by the rate I'm talking about, 750 for the property, right? And I only owe like 450 on it, so I can borrow up until, I think my loan officer said 70%. So that's how much I can borrow. I can refinance it out, and because the rate is the same, similar to what I got the rate for there, so I can borrow 525, and then I still owe like 425 on it, so I can pull out 100,000 if I refinance this property on Darkway. And the other property that I have is 2742 Drive, right? So this one, we bought it at I think how much is it? 750, 750. How much did I down 25%. 25. So let me say I borrow 75%, right? So I borrow 562, right? So I borrow 562. So plus, and then let's say I borrow 562. Right now it said it's a million. Estimate is a million, right? So a million, right? Times, I can borrow 70%, right? Minus, assuming that I still owe 562. I don't know the exact number. It's a couple of years ago. I don't know the exact number, but assuming that I can get that much, right? So 1,000. Let me see by itself, right? Oh, I did something wrong. Oop, 0.7. There we go. There we go. So between the two property, if I pull out 70% and pay off the old mortgage, replace with the new one for the first property and the second property, I should be able to walk away with 240,000, right? And the next property I'm planning to do is I'm planning to bring in 240,000 because I invest with a couple of people, and then kind of like syndicate, sell some share in my company to be able to get the down payment for the next property. I think my numbers for the next property is gonna be like 2.2, assuming that's 2.1, right? And time 0.03%. So this is how much we need it down. 630,000. I already have 240, right? So I need 400,000 from investors, and we plan to sell like share on our company to be able to raise that money. And I already have a plan. It's just that because lately the interest rate's been going up a lot, so this free finance is kind of like on hold until the whole craziness of the economy, it's kind of like stabilized and the interest rate go back to normal. Then I should be able to get the same interest rate that I got for the two property, refinance it, and pull out some money to be able to put into the new units. So that's how I plan to leverage my previous property to be able to buy the next one. And that's the reason why the first one's always the hardest. The second one is easier, and then it's getting easier over the years because you can leverage your appreciation for the other property to put money out to be able to down for the next one. And the other thing is you have all the experience, so you can show that to the lender, and the lender really like somebody when they manage multiple property and over the years like they have good returns on it. And the other thing is you have management skill, and it's easier to get a loan for that too. And if you work with the same lender over and over again, they know how good you are, and they know you don't default on the loan, then there's more likelihood that they're gonna lend it to you too. So that's the reason why the first one's always the hardest, and then it's getting easier and easier and easier. Right? So anyway, thank you so much for watching my video today. That's it. And if you have any question about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, just give me a call, or reach out to me through the video here, and I'm happy to talk to you and work with you on anything that any kind of project that you might have, if you want my opinion on it. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, and please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so that I can bring you more video like this. Thank you. See you next time.